How does a positional pawn sacrifice play out in the middle game? Have you ever wondered how a pawn sacrifice can change the course of a chess game? In the middle game, a positional pawn sacrifice is a strategic move where a player gives up a pawn to gain long-term advantages. This is not about immediate material gain, but rather about improving the overall position on the board. When a player sacrifices a pawn, they often gain initiative and tempo. This means they can control the pace of the game, forcing their opponent into a defensive stance. This can make it harder for the opponent to launch counterattacks. Another benefit of a pawn sacrifice is that it can open lines and diagonals for pieces like bishops and rooks. This enhances their mobility and attacking potential. By controlling key squares and files, a player can create opportunities for future attacks. A positional pawn sacrifice also helps with piece development. By creating space on the board, pieces can maneuver more effectively. This leads to a more coordinated and harmonious army, ready to take action. Strategically, controlling key squares becomes essential. Sacrificing a pawn can allow a player to dominate important areas of the board. These squares can serve as outposts for pieces or restrict the opponent's movements. The goal of this type of sacrifice is to create long-term advantages. This can include a better pawn structure, more active pieces, and control of open files. While it may seem risky, the long-term benefits can outweigh the immediate loss of material. In some scenarios, a positional pawn sacrifice can lead to a better endgame. The material lost can be compensated by a superior pawn structure or better piece placement. This can set the stage for a winning endgame. Practically, sacrificing a pawn in the center can open up lines for pieces to attack more effectively. It can also create imbalances in the position, such as a pawn majority on one side of the board. This can be advantageous as the game progresses. A well-timed pawn sacrifice can even force the opponent's pieces to move to less desirable squares. This weakens their overall position and can lead to further advantages for the player who initiated the sacrifice. In summary, a positional pawn sacrifice in the middle game is a strategic decision aimed at gaining long-term advantages. It requires careful consideration of potential benefits and risks, including the impact on piece development and control of key squares. Understanding these concepts can help chess players effectively use positional pawn sacrifices to improve their chances of winning.